What's going on, YouTube? It's ya boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another video with ya boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. As you can see on the screen, I have Draftkings, the daily fantasy site, up on my site. Now, as you guys know, I've been doing this for a long time when it comes to creating lineups for DFS. I have greenlightdfs.com, where I post not only optimal lineups for DraftKings Daily Fantasy and FanDuel Daily Fantasy, but I also add my favorite kind of bankroll builder slips there as well over at greenlightdfs.com. Now, one thing I have been severely missing is getting back to doing DFS videos, man. Y'all know how much I love this shit. Been doing it for over 8 years with y'all, man. We used to do those hour-long live streams back in the day. And I really miss just talking DFS with y'all as well. And I benefit a ton when I'm doing this actively. Like, my hit rate is even higher when I'm, like, actively talking about it, too, with y'all and doing these videos. So you're definitely going to start seeing a lot of these videos. If you haven't played DFS before, which is daily fantasy, you need to try it out. It's way more fun than player props, straight up. I mean, because you got to build a lineup, you got to work on the roster construction, like who do you think the best player is going to be, all that stuff. Different players score a different amount based off of how they perform. It's really fun, man. So if you haven't ever before, you can go to greenlightdfs.com and get access for the optimal slip that I post every day for every sport. But for this video, we're going to talk about the NFL Showdown game, man. We have quickly gotten to Week 7. It is the start of Week 7 on Thursday. We got Pittsburgh against Cincinnati. Now, first thing when it comes to Showdown lineups, and anybody who may not be familiar, on main slate lineups like, on Sunday and stuff like that, you have to build a whole lineup where you got quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, and a defense. On Showdown, where it's just a single game, you build, as you can see, you have a captain. Captains are going to score more points. Okay, they're going to get 1.5x their fantasy points at the captain spot. And then you have 5 flex spots. Okay, you've got to build the most optimal version using that. Now, you can put this into a contest, and they have 1.5 million in prizes in this contest that I'm talking about right here. So, absolutely crazy. But anyway, first things first, when we look at showdowns, we have to kind of think about how we expect the game to go. And you have to expect that Cincinnati's going to be playing from behind here. I would highly doubt that Cincinnati gets ahead and controls the game and beats Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh are almost 6-point favorites here. Pittsburgh's offense is the one that's expected to kind of move freely and do what it wants to do, whereas Cincinnati's just not expected to do much at all. Now, I do expect with Joe Flacco being there and being able to really be with the team for a good bit of time, I do expect that Flacco will probably be able to, get some things going and get better. Flacco's definitely better than Browning. So I think that Flacco being there is definitely an improvement to Chase and Higgins. So definitely have some interest in that side, obviously, with them playing catch-up. I don't have much interest at all in Chase Brown, solely because this is not going to be a very run-friendly script. Now, could Chase Brown get some dump-offs? Absolutely, but he's not primarily known as a pass-catching running back. You feel what I'm saying? So I really want to build this based off of Pittsburgh getting up pretty early and controlling the game pretty well, and being ahead. So first thing we need to think about is at the captain spot. Who do we want to put at the captain spot? Who makes the most sense? As you can see, these are their captain prices. Jamar Chase is $18,000 to put a captain. DK Metcalf is $15,600. T. Higgins is $15,000. Like, T. Higgins at $15,000, being a big body receiver for Joe Flacco, is a very interesting spot here for me compared to $3,000 difference for Jamar Chase. Now, don't get me wrong. Jamar Chase obviously is their number one guy. But the thing with DFS is you got to get that roster construction right. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to roster construction and how I'm expecting this game to go, at the captain spot, I either want a big-time receiver, as in a Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins, on the comeback, especially with DraftKings being full-point PPR, or I want the Pittsburgh run game with them being ahead, is kind of what I'm feeling. So Jaylen Warren at 12.6 is really interesting to me, and in a player that I have a lot of interest in at captain, to be completely honest. Now, I'm not going to fill this entire lineup, but we're just going to talk over the strategy, and I'm going to enter about three plays in here, 3 core guys that you need to get in. All right? Jalen Warren is 12-6 at captain, and it just feels right with how this game's expected to go. Not only is this dude going to get some work in the pass game, he always does get good targets, but he's going to be the running back. He's going to be the main guy. You feel what I'm saying? So good spot for Jalen Warren at captain, in my opinion, with how this game's expected to go. Now, the way I see it, I think you need a Cincinnati receiver. I think that, honestly, I think Joe Flacco is the next guy you got to go with because of how you expect this game script to go, and Flacco being in a very pass-heavy script. There's probably going to be a lot of throwing. So for me, in this script, with this build that we're working on right now, Jalen Warren at captain, getting a ton of touches as not only on their route to getting the lead, but once they have the lead, being a guy that kind of, just runs the ball a good bit. So I like the spot for that. And then Joe Flacco, run back on the other side. Now, you need to pair him with somebody, and I think T. Higgins is that guy. Because with Jamar Chase being 12,000. Now, it kind of depends on our value. Like, let's scroll down. Let's take a look at our value that we have. Jasicki is out for Cincinnati. You've got I can never say this dude's name. Andre. You've got Andre at 2.8. That's interesting for Cincinnati in a catch-up game. Noah Fant is interesting in a catch-up game. P. Ryan gets good pass game exposure. He's a good pass-catching running back. So let's see. Who would we want to go here? Honestly, I don't have a ton of interest in the passing game for Pittsburgh. To be completely honest with you, I mean, it comes down to the value you have available to you, obviously. And on this slate, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, when we look at the value, I like some of these guys. I like Noah Fant. I'd say he's probably one of the better value options at 3.6. And it opens things up to giving you 7,200 average remaining. So on the rest of this lineup, you could either go a cheap guy, or you could go like a Aaron Rodgers and then pair with, a cheap guy and then pair it up with another stud, or you can kind of go two more mid-range around the 4 or 5K range. Yeah, I mean, P. Ryan is interesting to me, as I stated before. As well as Andre. I mentioned Andre. Again, in this situation for Cincinnati, it's a good spot there. So you could definitely go something like, Aaron Rodgers, expecting them to get up from Aaron Rodgers, and then have 4-6 remaining, and you could go like P. Ryan on the other side. Just like a test version. Just kind of like a thrown together idea based off game script, right? So what we have here is we have Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Warren being a big part of them getting ahead, on top of Jalen Warren being a big part once they're ahead. And then we've got Flacco paired with Higgins, Fant, and P. Ryan. P. Ryan being kind of a good pass-catching guy. How has P. Ryan been? So he got 3 targets last game, which is a good look. I mean, obviously, with Flacco getting the start, he definitely dumped down a good bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of that. And like I mentioned, I mean, I really would not be surprised to see a lot of P. Ryan here in a pass-catching type of script here. While Chase Brown isn't a guy I really want in that situation, because you're paying a premium of 8,000 for a guy that's not like a huge pass-catching running back, where you can go with P. Ryan, who he's kind of in on those third downs and those pass situations. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get in the end zone. So this is an exact example of like how you build and the mindset you go about building showdowns and what ends up getting you those takedowns. I'm talking about in DFS, you can win 500,000 is the top prize in this contest I have right here. 500,000 is what first place gets in this contest. You enter for 20, you win 500,000 if you get first place. In DFS, we have gotten $70,000 wins. I made $90,000 earlier this MLB season in a top finish. A member of ours made equally as much that day. I mean, we just made crazy amounts of money in DFS over the years, which is why Greenlight DFS is like the #1 source when it comes to optimal lineups for DFS. So join in, lock in for week 7. I will be talking about the main slate as well in this video. We're just going to we just broke down this Pittsburgh-Cincinnati showdown. I will talk about week 7 in a video as well. I definitely am going to start doing more of these. The prop videos, I'm going to be posting a lot more on the Props Made Easy YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the Props Made Easy YouTube channel. I'll put the link for that down in the description, down in the chat of this video, so you can follow that. That way you know, maybe I can start doing a lot more DFS video. And if I post a DFS video on this channel, I don't want to post a prop video too. I would end up posting the prop video on Props Made Easy. All right. But I want to do a lot more of these, man. And if you're interested in DFS, definitely look into it. Definitely join greenlightdfs.com. I post optimal lineups every single day over there. That is what I do at Greenlight DFS. So if you want to start getting involved in this and getting that opportunity at a win like 500,000, DFS gives you that opportunity on Draftkings and FanDuel with their daily fantasy sites. They're different type of areas of their sites, not the sports book, but the daily fantasy part. This is where you could do something like this. So it's super fun, super interesting. I know my Greenlight people are excited to have this type of video back, man. I'm excited to be doing these videos again. I'm definitely going to get heavier into these. I want to do them daily when NBA starts. NBA is coming up soon. I want to do them daily for that too. The NBA season early bird special is available now at greenlightdfs.com. If you plan on riding long term, lock in. That's the best value you can get. It's like $100 and something off. So lock in for that. Appreciate y'all as always, man, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.